everyone, it's me Holly. Welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be discussing books because I have a few that I've read or I'm currently reading, and then also my TBR, and I just want to yap. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to yap with book talk girlies. So hopefully we've got a couple book talk girlies here. So if you're here, let me know in the comment section below. Also, please, if you listen to what books I'm reading, recommend me some, because actually, to be fair, like, my TBR is ever extending. So I feel like, do I need more recommendations? Probably not. Will I buy more books? Absolutely. So we're going to begin with my newfound favourite genre, which is romantasy. I got into that from Powerless. I read that August last year, and when I tell you I was invested, I hadn't read a fantasy book before. So that was the first one, and the little bit of I've been like an avid romance reader. So to have like the risk factor of a fantasy book included with that, I was hooked. I was locked in. Personally, I just love Peyton and Kai and the characters. I'm there for the plot, but really I'm not. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm there for the banter between the two of them. So that's why I love that book. What came out recently? Fearless. I'm on page 53. The thing is, when I get really excited about a book, I can't read it. I like that. It's just such a weird like thing in my brain where it's like, I want to savor this book forever. So am I going to pick it up? No, I'm going to let it sit and basically eat me alive. Look how pretty that is, by the way. So terrified that I can't read it yet, but I'm 53 pages in, and I will. This is the one I'm currently reading. So yeah, this is a book that I finished at the start of this year, I think. Assistant to the Villain. Oh my god, let me just eat that one up real quick. This book is everything. I cannot recommend this enough. It's the funniest book I've ever read, if you're interested. So this is a romantasy book, so it's fantasy romance, and the funniest thing I've read. Like, I genuinely had to stop myself giggling out loud because it's just, there's so many funny things. The main character is called Evangeline, I think. They call her Evie. I don't know why I tried to full name her. About like the villain, which she meets right at the start of the book, and then she goes on to work for him, and obviously he's very like grumpy. It's basically Sunshine x Grumpy, which I live for. I love that trait. I haven't really read many books where it has like a grumpy, morally grey character and then a really happy-go-lucky person. Like, I haven't found many books like that, but I eat them up. And this one, he would do anything for her, and I love it. And also, the slowest burn of my life that it's still currently burning. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, slowest burn ever. I cannot recommend this book more in my life. So I'm currently reading, I'm actually haven't read it in a little while because I got other books, and then my brain is like, okay, onto this one. But Apprentice to the Villain, I'm in like part way through that. I'm just excited to see what the hell is going to go on in this one, because it does leave on a cliffhanger, so you do kind of want to be prepared with this one to get straight back into it. I just live for, his name's Tristan, the main guy character, and he is Flynn Rider. Like, now here we get onto some interesting opinions of mine, because I really struggled to decide what I felt about Lightlark. Looking at this book right now, how on God's green earth does my little attention span read this whole book? How did my little, like, especially when the pages are that long, I'm really unsure about how I feel about this book, because it's quite different for me, because when I started it I was so confused, because the only other fantasy book I'd read was Powerless, and that one was quite easy to grasp as like a new reader of fantasy. So this one was like, hold up, let me just go back to the beginning and check what these people are doing. Like, the amount of times I had to double check this one page to check what the things are. But I did really get into it at one point, like midway through, but then I think it kind of fell off for me at the end. Now that's like, I'm no way to talk about this like it was bad at all, because I was locked in, and by the end I was gagged, really. I was like, okay, what the freak is happening? I think I did find this one more of a struggle to get through, and I did have to really push myself to finish it, especially because I think it's third person, and I don't really read many third person books, so that was a bit of a culture shock. I have Nightbane, and I feel like I got it because I was like, okay, I finished Lightlark, it's natural to want to progress on, but then I just didn't pick it up straight away, and I think that was kind of an indicator that maybe I wasn't too bothered. I think it was the love triangle in this one. I just really didn't, I don't know if I vibed with it, because I didn't realize it was meant to be a love triangle. And then I was like, wait, why is like, what is happening? And I wasn't really behind the love triangle aspect, which is probably one of the main traits in this book. So I do kind of like the world building. That was insane. Like, the world building in this is insane and perfect, and I think for many people this is a perfect book. So I guess at some point I will read this one. But at the moment, I've got many other books that I'd rather read. Okay, we're gonna get on to a controversial opinion of mine. I'm actually a little bit, like, I hate sharing, like, bad opinions of things, because I just feel like it's not necessary, but, like, close protection. I mean, the works did eat, and I'm happy I've got it. And I have a difficulty with this book. Where did I even get to? Oh my god, have I just been going like no bookmark? Okay, very interesting, this book for me. I started reading it and I was like, this feels very not my... It feels like it should be my age, like, range, because it's like YA, and I love YA and I read a lot of it. It didn't feel... It was a little bit cringy, and sometimes that's okay, but I can't lie. There were many times I had to send my cousin a screenshot, no, a little photo of something that the guy had said, and I was like, that is not that is not the vibe. At the same time, I couldn't put it down for about 3 days. So what does that say? Normally, like, in a book you want, like, to feel like, oh, giggly and like, that's so cute, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you like to feel things. I feel like that's why a lot of people read books, to escape, and also to, like, have different life experiences that they would never have, like, especially with books like Lightlark, Powerless, like, never am I ever going to be in those experiences, but, like, to live vicariously through the characters. I've never read, like, is it a bodyguard romance? Never. So I was really, that's why I was really into the plot, because I was like, oh, this is kind of like a new thing, like, I'm exploring a new kind of trait that I haven't explored before. So I was like, you know, that's kind of slay. But then it's just like, he says things and I'm like, can you literally get back? Like, can you leave? If a man was to say that to me after knowing me one singular day of my existence, please, for the love of God, never come near me again. Like, he's meant to be protecting her, but some of the stuff he's saying, it's damaging to mental health. But she's eating it up, can't lie. And also, that's another thing I didn't really like, is that she's already eating it up. Like, I am all for slow burn. So that's something you should gather from this video. I love slow burn. Why the hell on page 2? No, I'm just kidding. It must have been like page 10. They were already like kind of into each other, and I'm like, please don't. Where's a little bit of tension? Like, I'm not opposed. Can we have some? Like, it's like we've gone straight into them flirting, and I'm just like, okay. But, like, I'm also eating it up. But, like, I'm not. It's really difficult because I'm literally not... I don't judge books ever. I literally, like, I will read a lot of stuff, and for me to have a slightly negative opinion on a book is insane. This is the first book ever I've been able to be like, I'm not sure if I'm vibing with it, but that's only because my knowledge of books and like what I like to read has obviously got stronger, so I know what I'm into. And this man is just not, he's just not it. And also the age gap, people talk about the age gap and I'm like, whatever, like it's not something that immediately bothered me, but then some of the stuff that he was saying, I was like, as a 17-year-old girl, if a man, like a grown man said that to me, unsure. I mean, I'm 18, so I was kind of thinking like it could be me. Please, for the love of God, do not. Back the hell up. Anyway, I've got 2 more books I want to talk about, but first of all, I can't believe I was gonna go this video without talking about it. This book makes me want to lose my mind. Right, I have an issue when I get really, really excited about something. My brain recognizes the excitement but thinks it's anxiety, so I literally felt sick and like actually on edge for the whole entire time I was reading this book because I loved it so much. Like I was so excited to pick it back up every single time, and I have not, this is my favorite book. You know what really done it for me with this book? The fact I knew it was being made into a film adaptation and Emily Bader and Tom Blythe were the main characters, because when I tell you they're my favorite 2 actors, they're my favorite. Literally could not have picked a better 2. When this film comes out, I'm never again being seen. I'm going to sit in my room and watch this on repeat until the end of my life. It's the only thing I ever want to consume. I'm being so dramatic right now. Friends to Lovers has always been my kind of like, you know, I love that. I love a bit of Friends to Lovers because in real life, I feel like that's what I want to experience as a 18-year-old girl that has never experienced romantic love. So yeah, that's probably why I'm literally sat surrounded by books right now. This is my existence. But when I tell you, Alex Nilsson, I've never read a book and actually wanted that man more in my life. I've never wanted, like, obviously it's like all Kai Azar from Powerless. I'm like, yeah, if he was real, like, bring him here. But like, also at the same time, I'd be scared to meet him. Bring Alex Nilsson here right now, and I just want a conversation because this man is neurodiverse to the next level, please. Please, like, every time he was getting a bit funny with cleanliness, I was like, mate, I see myself, you are me. I accidentally started mimicking his behavior, and that is when I knew I was getting a bit obsessed with it, because I already was a little bit funny with cleanliness and like germs, and that's always been a thing in my life. But when this man was taking like about 2 showers a day, I was like, oh my God, that's something. Like, I actually took his behavior on board, and I shouldn't have done that because that's really unhealthy. And it's okay because I've made my way out of that. But I love that man, and I love Poppy so much, and I loved how they have different aspects of, like, it showed 2 different aspects of love, because she had a complete, like, she just wanted, you know, they have 2 different type of people that they wanted to be in love with, but they were just in love with each other. No. That's not spoilers, because let's be real, like, also the whole concept of of basically the main thing that really drew me into this book was there was this, literally at the beginning you hear about this Croatia trip where they never tell you what happens. When I got to the page where it says 2 summers ago, I dropped the book. I literally took a pace around my room. I was like, okay, it's time. We're gonna hear why Poppy and Alex fell out, because that's the main part of the book. Ate up. Literally, let me just stop talking right now because I don't want to spoil things for anyone, but please go read that book. Last book I'm going to talk about is a book I'm really excited to read. First Time Caller. It's still got the Works label on. Look at this. Look how cute that is. Oh my God, literally don't even, like, the Works is eating up. And so Waterstones can sit down. Sit down. Because the Works will come and destroy whenever they get a book in. Like, yeah, Waterstones might have more options, but these are the books that I want to read. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got the romance books and they got the cute little photos. I'm so excited to read this, and this is purely from Book Talk. This is the only reason I'm holding this book right now. And people say it's just like such an incredible romance story. So low-key, real excited. I'll let you guys know when I read that one. Another book I do want to mention, and it's literally simply because I get TikToks of the I think it's called Shits and Gigs podcast. Fuhad and James, I think. That's their podcast. And I already had clips of them coming up because they're just like, you know, they do like segments where they read out like people's confessions or whatever, like, and sometimes that comes up on my TikTok, so I was aware of them. Yesterday, a TikTok account posted a clip where they both were discussing Fourth Wing, I think it's called. Or I think it was James was reading Fourth Wing. I have never been sat before. I was listening to this. So I've obviously known about Fourth Wing, especially when Onyx Storm came out, and I was like, I don't think I can be bothered to read that. Just because I was like, do you know what? Like, I've got such a load of books to read through. When this man was describing this book, I was like, I'm instantly going onto my Kindle and buying it. And I do not buy stuff on my Kindle. I had Kindle Unlimited for 3 months, and that was like the vibe. I went and checked how much it was on the Kindle because I'm ready to read it, but then I had to stop myself and I was like, I'm gonna have to finish Fearless first because I will get obsessed with Fourth Wing, and then there will be a weird crossover where I'm like, I don't know what to do. But I'm ready for that one as well. So that is actually gonna be my next anticipated read because I'm low-key eating up his stories. When he's explaining to his friend what's going on, I'm like, yes, please. Anyway, goodbye, everyone. I've been talking for way too long. I'm actually meant to be going somewhere. I'm meant to be somewhere right now. I'm meant to be at my nan's house. Bye, guys. Oh my god.